All right. First of all, thank you guys for coming down today. Thank you for coming down for this Househead elections dialogue. All right, so 10 minutes ago, Chong Hui said I should probably have some kind of opening speech. So here goes nothing. Okay, I'm kind of winging this, but I think that there's enough to kind of go by from what we've done so far this year. To say that I think the plans that we kind of, the rest of the committee, all of you guys, part of the house comm, and also the rest of you guys from the house, right? Like we had some ideas at the beginning of this year to try and make this house a little more vibrant, a little more active, get people together more, have people from different OGs mingle together, have people come down for events and enjoy food together. And I'll say that I think for the most part, we've kind of achieved what we wanted to do, at least compared to what it was last year, which was much more quiet. And we think that, I think a pretty good job has been done, but today we're here to look for the people who are potentially going to lead us after this, after I'm no longer in this position, and after my house comm is no longer in the position they're currently in. So we need new leaders, and that is exactly what we're here for today. And thank you guys for coming down. You guys all have a vote in deciding the future of this house, so please exercise it. But without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to today's first candidate. So Shruti, would you like to start?
So hi guys, my name is Shruti. I'm a year 1 computational biology major. It's under science and computing if you didn't know. So a little bit about me is that I do a lot of exercise, I take part in sports. I'm very sports oriented. When it comes to having fun, I usually just listen to music or I sing in the shower. Toon will know about this, so that's great. If you want to know about it, ask Toon. We have really weird conversations sometimes. So that's quite about me. Like I think you can get the idea that I'm a little weird, but I'm also really serious about certain things. So today what I'm going to share with you, right, is my vision for the house next year. What I plan to implement into the house, and also why you should vote for me as well. So as for vision, I envision the house to be a very light-hearted society where everyone is engaged in each other personally rather than always being in a very hoo-ha situation. That's great actually, but also I would like to inculcate the interpersonal relationships in a more deeper level. So that's what I would like to see more next year if I was a house head. So my main goal is to make this house very family oriented, and the family orientation would be more based on a level basis. So I will start off with the levels and then I would try to build it up to the house level. As for my plan of action, I have 2 plans where they're more specific to the RAs and the exchanges that are returning back to Singapore. So those like Intia, she has left Singapore and then she came back this end. The reason why I don't really want to change anything in the house right now is because things are running very smoothly, and I really like what Jeremy and Kevin have done, and it's very efficient to me. So as what I want to say that as for what I want to put into the house is that level events will be more important to me, so that if you are bonded as a level, the likelihood of you having more friends within your level is even better, is even greater. So with that, right, the likelihood of you coming over for house events is even more because you have friends to talk to and it's less awkward also. Like when I was in Sem 1, when I was in level 12, I felt slightly awkward at first to come for house events because I had nobody to talk to. And my OG, Demos, we were quite split amongst the levels. So the people that I knew in my level 12 were very little until like I got to know quite a lot of girls like Rachel, Monocles, Namasvi. So I feel that when you get to know your house on a level basis, it's easier to progress to a massive scale where there's so many people in the house. As as for exchanges that are coming back, it is important for them to also feel like they have a community to put themselves into, because I feel that whenever we have level events or house events, sometimes exchanges are not around, and it's probably because they're scared to come in because they don't know much of the people that are there already, because most of the OG people have already left the RC. So my focus will also be on them so that I can bring them back into the RC, into the Leo society. Well, in the end, right, the reason why I would like to do this is because Leo House is really is a place where I initially felt alone at first, until I actually started coming in to the lounge. The lounge was exactly where I started getting my family. Like, because I was staying in a suite, and usually suite has closed doors, and you don't really go out. People don't really come in either. People don't walk past and say hi. So I feel that family is very important when you stay here. And as the year went by, and even until now, every time I come back from science, it would be what the thoughts that go through my head is that I'm coming back to Leo House. It's not I'm coming back to my room, or I'm coming back to go and sleep on my bed. It's I'm coming back to Leo. I'm coming back to see the people in the lounge and to just tell them what happened throughout my day. So I think the reason why you should vote for me is because I'm very interactive. I'm actually a really outgoing person. Like, if you see me around the hall, you could just say hi. I would really just start off a conversation with you out of the blue. And people would just be shocked because I'm telling them so much about my life, which is a bit awkward sometimes, but that's my personality, and I feel that that's what Househead should have when it comes to listening to the people in the house. I've also had like a few experiences in planning events as well in science faculty. So I kind of know how things goes and in form of planning, and also having been in house comm for 2 sems and having a bit of a structural change within the 2 sems, I know what's right, what works well and what doesn't really work well in the committee. So it's easier for me to know what decisions to make and what would not be that great for the house as well. Yeah, that's. I think that's really why you should vote for me. Yeah. Questions! Yay! Oh my god, public speaking.
Okay, awesome. All right, Shruti, you can take a seat for now. So the way we're going to do this is both candidates have a maximum of 10 minutes to talk, say their speech, say their thoughts, visions, ideas, goals, the usual kind of thing. Then after this, we'll do an open Q&A, right? So if you have any questions for Shruti, you can hold it in your heads first. And then, after Haoyu's speech, there'll be an open Q&A session for both of them. All right? So without further ado, our second candidate for tonight, Haoyu, the stage is yours.
Hey, hi guys, I'm Haoyu. I'm a year 1 engineering student, majoring in industrial and system engineering. My hobbies, I love to play sports. I was honored to be the captain for ICG basketball this year, so I'm quite active in IHG also. So yeah, I play a lot of sports. Then I love to play computer games. I'm very lazy. I don't like to go for lectures. Don't like to do my homework. Don't like to go for tutorials if can. Yeah, that's about me lah. So, okay. At first, before I joined RC4, right, I have no intention to run for anything. I just want to have meet new people, have interactions, have fun, do what I love. That's about it. But after staying here for more than 1 sem, right, I developed this sense of belonging to Leo. I feel like this is my home. I have this strange tie with this house. So it made me really want to contribute more other than sports. I think sports I contributed more than enough already. So I want to try something new. I want to try for this househead position. So my vision for Leo, I want to build a Leo identity. So summing up is just making people feel at home, making people have the sense of belonging. Make people feel comfortable living in Leo. Don't need to worry about one day I walk out from the corridor, I don't know this guy, I don't know that guy. I have no friends. I just here to rest and sleep. I done that. So that's my vision. For my planning, I'm going to do some changes to make this happen. So for example, okay, all this is not very detailed and solid, but I have this general idea in mind. For house comm, I'm going to change the way it works. So after I gather my new house comm, I will sit down with them. I'll have a discussion. Then we'll make a list of things that Leo going to do in the next coming year. So what are the events, no matter big or small, that we're going to have as a house event. So from there, I'm going to allocate events to all the people. So everyone will have a chance to be heading for some events, to have a chance to be subcomm for another events. So like in this case, they can have a good mix of learning how to work in a team, have a platform to showcase their talent, their leadership. Then on top of all this, I'll have a mentor. Okay, how I choose this mentor, right, is will be this senior that actually in charge of this event the previous year. So he'll be the mentor for the event. He don't do anything. He just have to oversee the whole event, make sure nothing goes wrong, nothing happens, that's disastrous. Then just let the year ones to have their own room of, having a creativity, craft something new from the old frame. So that's my plan for Housecom. I want to maybe look into the size of Housecom also. So like maybe to me 15 to 17 people is more than enough to man the house. So yeah. As for the rest of people in Leo, I want to move down level by level because I see this as a system way. I'm a system engineer, so I'll start with the smallest element, which is the level. Everyone, the smallest thing is the level. So I want to promote interactions among the level first. I want to make people less awkward. They are comfortable making new friends, interacting with each other. You can just walk around your level, saying hi to all the people that you know. Yeah, then having level events. I'll discuss with my RAs how to have events as such, to bring a level together first. Because I feel this is where everything starts. Like everyone must at least be bonded to the level, to get comfortable with level first. Then they are willing to come down for things like house event, inter-level event or whatever. Then the next element will be inter-level and house event. These two is like very similar. So I'll just say like together. So what I will do is I will have more house events together. Let's say steamboat, karaoke, barbecue, whatever you want to do, and there's no bad consequences. We can discuss about it. So other than that, okay, another thing is one event that I want to zoom in on is RHG, because I feel RHG is the first major event that the freshie is going to work together as a house, go against other houses. It's like this teamwork thing where people really represent their own house, fight for their house. So this is a very crucial platform, I feel. It will start the foundation if I want to build a house identity. So I emphasize a lot on that. And as a sports person, right, I know how much a competitive environment can like glue a team together, glue people together, make them have this common bond, common goal that they want to work towards too. So that's my plans to support my vision. Other than that, I feel it's just about making people feel at home. I want them to have a sense of belonging here so that they are willing to sacrifice, they are willing to step out of the comfort zone, to interact, to give feedbacks. Or I'm looking into setting up a channel platform for feedbacks gathering. So like, no matter what feedbacks, maybe it's some events that y'all want to have, y'all might be interested in, some feedbacks about the current situation where you feel that there's some improvement that can be made, you can just put inside. Then if I see it's relevant, it's beneficial, I'll invite you down, sit down with all my HouseCom members or whoever is relevant. We will talk things out. We will come to a conclusion whereby both parties is satisfied. Then hopefully you can make the planning better. Then we can work towards our major goal. As we are one Leo. We are a part of this. We are a family. So yeah, that's all.
All right, awesome. Okay, so With that moves us on to the Q&A segment. Again, there's still food behind, so go ahead, eat up. Yeah, so we'll start with, okay, for the Q&A segment, basically, it's just open floor. I guess I will conduct the Q&A. So I guess if our candidates would like to, I guess, sit up front facing the audience, or stand, actually stand up. If the CSE candidates can stand, you guys can stand. So. Okay. All right, so I guess we'll start here. Any questions? First question. Shumi has a question. No. Anybody got a first question? Anyone has a question? That isn't regarding the food. Any questions? Or if
Like I say, right? So there's a two-part. It's a two-part question. Okay, so the first part is that, as you know that every house they will definitely have their own phantoms, or they have their own residents that may not be that active or even be causing trouble to others. So let's just say our pantry and whatnot. So we have them. So as a househead, what would you be doing if you were the one to take over next year?
I've already thought about this. If you were causing trouble in the pantry or such like that, because probably the way of living at the country is different from here, I would have to personally talk to them, but I can't go up to them first and talk to them if I don't have evidence of them doing it. So first things first, I need evidence from whoever is finding it an issue, and then only I can act on it, because it will be considered accusing them for something that probably they didn't even do. So I will have to talk to them personally, discuss with them how we can change it up a bit. If they feel that the house is slightly off for them, I would have to discuss with them how we can accommodate to them as well, because sometimes we are also at fault sometimes, So that's the best way I see it as so far.
Okay, for me, I feel no matter for the phantom problem or for the pantry problem, it all comes down to actually one thing: just people don't give a damn about it. To be honest, people don't really care about this. They don't really think that I do this, what's the side effect, what other people feel. They just don't care. So what happens actually is because they don't feel not say they don't feel belong here. They don't have this deep tie against it. Like they don't have the sense of belonging. So like to them, okay, this is just this place that I stay. Anything happen to it, I don't care. So same for phantom. To them, in their own room, they'll be thinking, so what if I go out? A lot of people I don't know. I don't really love the interactions. I don't really find it's fun. I'll just rather stay in my own room to my own stuff. That's probably what they're thinking lah. So I feel to solve the root of it, right, is really to try our best to build this sense of belonging through interactions. So before the new batch come in, we must have this common vision already. So like as a senior, we must really impart this culture to our freshies. Even if this culture is not really what we receive when we are a freshie, this is what we have to set as a role model to make them. Because I believe all the freshies coming, right, is like a blank piece of paper. Their RC experience, their perspective is all what they get from seniors' feedback, what they see themselves. So I feel as a senior, we must really try to promote these interactions, try to minimize the chance of like isolating some people out. Let's say those who never go for camp, those returning seniors or exchangers. Like all of them, they miss a lot of chances to interact during FOC. So like high chance they'll be feeling, I'm the odd one here, I don't know anyone. So it's really up to we must really make the effort to help them to integrate into our house of build up. And if we manage to develop this sense of belonging to them, right, then all these problems, especially phantom, you'll be solved like effectively. I feel. Confirm there will be phantom, but just we'll try to minimize it. Yeah. Then the pantry problem, same thing. When people give care more, people think more. They really treat it as home, right? Then they will start thinking, okay, what if I don't wash the dishes? Other people, it's going to cause other trouble for other people. So like, it's this kind of small thing that like make people do this kind of inconsiderate actions. So we have to work hard on getting people to have a sense of belonging here. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Anybody? All right, John.
what are your impressions of how the current house comm has done as a whole for the plus 2 sems, and what steps would you take to improve upon it, like what we have done so far?
Okay, the current house comm, we've had two different types of working styles in the two sems. So first sem, we had actual sub-departments where we had programs, logistics, publicity. Whereas in semester 2, we changed it out a bit where we put it as, we had a few individuals to direct each event, and then the rest, they just slot themselves in to help out, that sort of thing. I feel that the second sem has helped us out a lot more than the first sem, because everyone knows exactly what they're doing, exactly what event is happening. However, what I would like to change slightly a bit from that is that the RAs, I feel like they should be solely given the role of level heads and not take part, not in a sense not take part, but like do not hit the events the house events that are happening, because I want them to actually have a really strong presence in the levels, because this is where it stems from what I said, that I want the family orientation to be really good, and so for that to happen, the level has to be really bonded first. So RAs, I wish for RAs to be very strong in presence wise in the level. Yeah, that would be like my slight change compared to what's happening this sem.
So for me, right, I joined Housecom quite late, so I don't really know how Sem 1 work. I joined in the starting or middle of Sem 2. So, but from what I heard from my interactions with a lot of people, right, yeah, it's very similar to what Shruti said. It's like, I think in Sem 1, people doesn't have a distinguished role, like they don't really know their job scope specifically. So like it's a bit grey, it's a bit shady. So like that caused a lot of miscommunication maybe on the Housecom part. I'm not very sure. But what I'll do is just like what I said just now, everything that is in my speech. Before that, I'm going to make them like have a preference choice. Like after we decide the events, right, I will let them choose. Let's say what are the 3 events they're interested in. Because I believe I don't want to allocate to people events just like that. I want them to I want to know like what's their interest. What events maybe they will be interested in, then I'll give the event to them. Cause like, okay, I was in the ISU club, so that's how things work for us. Then for me, right, I was in charge for night cycling this year. So as a sports person, like something lah. Imagine you give me welfare, I'll be like, I'll do it, but it's not really my thing. So I want to avoid that also. So what I'll do is just like what I say, I'll try to fit into people's interests, or locate them all the roles. They have a mentor to oversee, so make sure everything goes well, and the freshies have enough platform to perform whatever they have to offer.
Okay. Alright, I think yes. Okay, I'm going to interject a question here just to follow up on things you guys just said, because I got some questions to follow up about, like, obviously what you guys are talking about, like, because these are considerations that I know I've had, I know Kev has had also before. So specifically for Shruti, right, you mentioned that at least you want the RAs to have a stronger presence, like as a level leader for level events and other level things, right? Okay, so the issue I can see here is this, at least as Househead, this was, I think we got pretty, I feel like I personally got pretty lucky because the RAs that I work with, the 4 of them actually, it's not here anymore, but they were overall quite active. And they contributed quite well, at least to the Housecom picture. Level side, like that's up to everybody's interpretation, since it's you guys are the people residents on the floor. But what I can say is this: as Househead, you do not choose your RAs. So, in the case when you get RAs that you potentially feel like you cannot work with, or you just feel like they're not doing enough, what are you going to do about it? Specifically, I think this one for Shruti.
Okay, so for RAs. The RAs, I don't think they will be the only persons working in the level itself. They'll probably have a team of their own. I would want them to have a team, because if they do all the work, they'll be tanking everything, and that's too tiring. So I would encourage the team to work with the RA, and if the RA is not very active, I would also have to step in and talk to the RA as well, because this is involving the entire house, and if one unit of the house breaks down, the entire thing is going to break down as well. So I feel that communication is very key with the RA, and I would also have to talk to the members that are involved with that specific RA if there's only just one that is not working really well. So I need them to have a common goal for the level. And once we have settled a common goal, I can leave it to them to do the level stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Fred, you had a question?
Yeah. I want to ask a question to Haoyu. So, Haoyu, what sets you apart from Shruti? Then, likewise, I also want to ask a question to Shruti. What sets you apart from Haoyu? Preferably, Haoyu, can you answer first? Shruti always answer first.
Okay, to me, as if y'all know me, right, y'all will know that I will present myself as like, I don't really care about a lot of things, just have fun, don't really take responsibility of things that's out of my comfort zone. But one thing about me, right, was that if I really truly care for something, right, I'll take charge of it. I'll really find my best for it. So, example is my basketball, ICG. It's my interest, and I was trusted with this position. I did a lot of planning. I did a lot of like background research, everything. So actually, as a lazy person like me, right, normally I won't do this kind of thing, but it's really because I care for it. But the reason why I run for this one, right, is because now I care for Leo also, so I want to contribute. That's why I can guarantee, right. If I was trusted with the position, I'll do it. I'll give my 100%. I'll do my best for it. Then, for me, normal things that I don't really care. But if there's things I care, right, I have a clear vision. I'll work towards it. I'll be very open to opinions, but for me as a person, right, as a leader, right, I don't like to change my general directions. Even unless really people tell me and I find it okay, I'm heading to somewhere that's a dark path. But else that I will just stick to my plan. I'll just try to perfect my planning, but yeah, I'll be very firm on this vision thing. So that's my strength, that's my characteristics. So in case y'all don't know.
Thanks for the question. I think Haoyu and I were pretty much on the same level. We're both very strong-headed. We know what we want. We're not always very loud, but we can also be very fun at times. But what sets me apart from him, right, is that I'm a very open person. I like to communicate with people. Even if you came into the pantry into the pantry and cooked your stuff, I would just slightly stand next to you. What are you cooking? Is this your dinner? Is this your lunch? And I'll just strike a really weird conversation. But that's how things get started. So I'm a very what's that word? Extroverted. Yes, I'm an extroverted person, basically. Also, that's the fun side of me. But the serious side of me, I'm very frank. If I don't like something that's happening, I'll tell it straight away. If I foresee an issue escalating, or that event might break down in the future, I'll say it straight up. So I'm not a person who will take nonsense, that kind of thing. So, but at the same time, even though I'm frank with a lot of things, I have to listen to other people. My community is also very important. Their welfare is very important, and I cannot be a very authoritative person as well. So I have to listen to them, and we have to work together as a team to come to a consensus. So my second point is that I'm a good listener, basically. Yeah.
Alright, next question. Alright. Okay, in this order, Shi Han first, then Amelia, then Zack. And then Jerrold.
Okay, so thanks for sharing your characteristics. Okay, so understandably, right, when we vote you in, we're not voting just you in, because we're voting whoever we choose to be
Yeah.
as well. So if you could share with us the kind of people you're looking for as let's say our vice househead. I mean, if I'm not wrong, it's choose vice househead, then you all two choose the rest of the house, right? So yeah, if you could share with us the kind of characteristics, obviously, what kind of person are you looking for a vice househead? Because ultimately, we are electing you, but you are choosing a vice househead. So essentially, we're electing both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, you get it?
Yeah.
So yeah, just maybe share with us what kind of vice househead you're looking for.
Okay. So, okay, building on what I said earlier, my personality is more extroverted than serious. That's how I am now. So, if I were to pick a vice head, my vice head would have to be more serious than me, I feel. Like, they are the person who will start shutting me down for my stupid ideas and my over exaggeration of things. So I feel like my vice house head, if I were to choose somebody, it would have to be a mix of someone who's really serious, but also can bring up the whole house spirit. Because if you're gonna have two heads as very serious, right, it's gonna be very sad. Yeah. So my vice house head will be. I already discussed this with a few people. If you know Matthew, if you know Sean and the personalities, it's a mix of the two of them, basically. Yeah. Basically, it's a mix of the two of them.
Alright, and how are your response?
Okay, for me, right, okay, first thing first, I want to look for someone I can work with. This is the most important one. Because I believe house and vice house head is a two pillar. You cannot break down. Really. Aside from other things, right, I really must find someone who can really work with me. You know, I want to avoid any situation whereby we will crack, like have crack between each other, and you know, that's disastrous. Okay, aside from that, cause I'm open to opinions, but the thing is sometimes I might be too, okay, I care too much about other people's opinion. So I want to have this vice here, right, who can give me feedbacks against, maybe sometimes against my idea, but at the same time, right, he must be sometimes like show me that you are heading the right direction, as in just preventing me from like becoming too hesitant to make the move. This is what I look into, because I must find someone who can tackle my weakness. Yeah, it's no point finding someone similar to me, then we both of us have the same weakness, then that's it. Comm. Yeah. So other than that, I feel the vice head must have the same vision as me. We must agree on the big vision. We can disagree at the small planning part, the way of doing things, but our ultimate vision must be the same. We must have a common goal, then we work together to it. So yeah, that's what I mean. I must be able to work with him or her first. Then she must have this strength that can like support my weakness. Yeah. Then after that, must have a common vision. That's the three things I'm looking into.
Alright, Amelia?
Can you both name the greatest like identify a potential problem that you will face, like the greatest problem you will face, and how you will try to overcome it in your like year of being president? Househead.
Anyways, so your responses? I guess it's time. Wait, who gave the last one first? You did, right? Okay, so.
Okay, to me, maybe one problem that I'll come across, right, is house community when we plan stuff. Because that's taken from a personal experience. Because in IC Club, as I mentioned before, we did things the similar way that as I proposed. At first, we are all very into, like, you know, we are very passionate about planning this kind of event. But towards the end, right, as the workload stack up, as everything ramp up, right, then people start to like feel tired. They feel okay, maybe I sign up for something that I'm not expecting, so they start to lag behind, start to like don't really care about some things, not giving in 100% of the effort. So I see this be a potential problem I face in my house comm, in my own house comm. So it's normal for people to feel that way. I don't blame them, because some people like the expectation is not that accurate. So like sometimes when the expectation falls short, right, they will just be like, yeah. So what I'll do is, of course, I'll talk to them. I'll give them enough time to change, to show me that they really still want to contribute. They're capable of doing things. If they manage to change, I'm all okay with it. I'll just then do that stuff. But if I see that they are not making the effort to change, they are still the same or becoming worse, I think it's not fair to other people who in the house comm is giving so much. So in that case, I'll choose to cut. Really, I'll choose to cut them from house comm, because I feel they are not earning their place there. It's not say you enter a house comm, you'll be there forever. I want to see the effort, I want to see a contribution you're willing to give. So that's what I might do lah. Which also is the reason why I said my size will be 15 to 17 people. Because actually my ideal size is 12 to 15. But I give a buffer range in case this kind of thing happens, Yeah, so that's my answer to that question.
Yeah, Shruti?
3 problems, right?
So just give us the biggest one.
Okay, the biggest one, I foresee event fatigue. Event fatigue. So basically, if our house is gonna have a lot of events, because sometimes we'll probably be a bit too ambitious to want to bond the whole house together, because once we're done bonding the levels, we want to bond all the levels together. So I don't want to tire the people out because they're also busy, Housecomm is also busy, and what I'm looking forward to instead of just having so many events, right, is probably cap it at like max 3 to 4 house events per sem, and that's it. So like the 3 house events, right, even though they're very little, I just want it to be like high quality instead of quantity. So the problem of event fatigue will probably be very little, because considering they have to do RC events as well, they will have to take part in RC events. A bit paycheck, to come down also for house events sometimes, because RC is conducting Halloween, then they also conducting Halloween. Which one should I go for? That kind of thing. So the relevance of the event is also important. So I will also have to think about what kind of events to have. If it's gonna clash with RC4 events, maybe not, because I would like a house to have equal representation in both. Yeah.
Okay, so this question, first, I got a lot of questions now, so I do one at a time. But yeah, okay. First question is to Haoyu. So far you have been saying that you want to change the way that the house comm is being run. You want to recruit your team first, then after you all discuss events, then decide who's in charge of what. One problem that I see with that, I don't know whether you share, but maybe have you considered this, is that because my understanding is that you are not actually there is no fixed roles for each of them. Right now we have like welfare aides, we have like people who are in charge of events, in charge of this, right? So when you are trying to recruit people, if there are no positions for them to run for, how sure are you that you can get a good mix of people that is willing to do everything? Because what you said just now is that you want to make sure that they are interested in the thing that they want. So like if you're only in charge of events, and it seems like your entire plan for house comm is in charge of the events, have you considered that there are other parts to house comm other than events?
Okay, for question, right, what I'm trying to say is, for the events part, I'm doing this. Of course, I get there's some positions like treasurer, like secretary. These two, okay, mainly these two jobs is quite important. Of course, I'll allocate a fixed person to it. Yeah, this is for those important positions. For things like PD for this event, PD for the event, blogs, program, publicity, marketing, whatever, this will be allocated, as what I said before. So like for things like what your concern, right, is the don't have fixed roles, everything, right? The basic structure, the basic important positions will be there. There will be people planning to it. Yeah, just the rest of the house comm, who is going to in charge of which event, this will be allocated differently. Yeah. I forgot to mention this. My bad.
Alright, next question, Zack. This question was about the house comm structure and focus on events. Yeah.
I think I want to ask is, you want to share a lot about why you run for the role and something. You might appreciate like what are some issues in the house. I want you to really zoom in on certain issues and see that we have in the house. And what we need to plan to do about it. Or how you are running the things so you can solve the problem.
Shruti, would you like to start?
Give me a moment to think about it.
How do you want to start? Or do you think so?
Certain problem.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I feel the problem that I see, right? The problem that I see, right? Real problem. One thing is the pantry. People not responsible. This is occur quite a few times already. Then another thing is not very major, but there's phantoms. Every level I can mention, I know some people is phantoming, and yeah, this is two big problem I feel to me. Cause like what I say, right, my aim, my vision is to build identity, sense of belonging, and these two things, right, is actually the proof that this thing is not working. You know, people are not having enough sense of belonging to this house. That's why it's in this kind of thing. Yeah, so actually, how to say, if I say one more time, you'll be repeating what I said the previous time. So, other than that, I feel there are still small problems here and there, but it's not major. Yeah, the biggest two problem is to, yeah. So that's for me.
An issue that I see that could happen in the house is that attendance during events. So, like, right now what I see that could happen is that majority of the people that will come down for events is usually probably house comm. That will be like the main majority of the people coming down. So how to prevent that from happening and to like introduce the phantoms who are not going to be phantoms soon to the house events is through sign-up sheets. The sign-up sheets are there for the househeads, for the vice househead, and the vice househead to look through who is not coming down for the event. And for you and the house comm to personally go to them, knock on the doors, chat with them and ask them why they're not coming. Because if reason why they're not coming down is because they don't feel the need to come down. They don't feel that they have enough friends to talk to when they're at the event. So if they're given the opportunity to talk to somebody else before the event, that'll be great, because then they can actually start finding a reason why they should come down for the event. So that's one way you could go about it. The second, I think there's one way. Yeah, there's only one way. Yeah.
Right.
So far, is what I can think. Yeah.
All right, next question. Sure, Zack.
Let me ask another question. How many what's the percentage of the house you think that is currently wanted to be actively participating in the house? Like what percent is it at?
Okay, so from the latest event, Fondue Wars, I feel that because it was a very light-hearted event, like people just come down for food, that kind of thing. From that, I can see that about 40% of the house is really bonded. 40%, like I see 40% of the people's face very often. Some of them a little more, but the rest, I would see them sporadically sometimes. They'll come for not all the events, but some of the events, like maybe 1 out of the 3 events in the year, that kind of thing. Yeah.
For me, the rough number for me is about 45 to 50%, because I feel it really depends on the event itself. If the event interests people, they'll come down. And for me example, right, if it's a sports event, of course I'm inclined to come down. Let's say if no offense, but aesthetic event, which I'm like lesser interest of, I'll consider, or maybe I will do something else. But generally, I feel it's just about 50% here and there floating. Yeah, so that's kind of it.
Why is it because what is the issue? I mean, yeah, what's the privacy? Is it really just because all the factors don't come down, and so your solution to that is not a lot, or like you have other plans that can kind of like systemic wise that can really give us the assurance that it's not, you won't be 50%, you improve to 80% this year.
Okay, building on what I said, that I would like the levels to be more active first. I feel that if the levels were more active first, it will ensure that the house events will be more vibrant, because once you're bonded as a level, that's really great. You have friends to go to the event with. That's quite a good assurance for me already that they will come down. Also, it's all about the event also. Like if the event is going to be quite taxing, like if the person has to do a lot of things to prepare and like come down, or they have to take part in this event, they have to like prepare a short skit, that kind of thing, just for a house event, I think the likelihood of them coming down is very little, because they have to invest a lot of time to prepare for the event. So I think an event that does not need a lot of preparation on their part, on the participants' part, that will be like even better. Because all they do is just come in, talk with a bit with the housemates, then once they're done talking with their friends, have a good chit chat, then they go back. I think that's quite a good turn-up rate already.
For me, right, actually the same thing back to what I said just now. It's really the sense of belonging is not there. Those people who don't come down, right, it's really either the event doesn't interest them, or there's no friends for them to worth enough for them to come down to interact, or they're just not comfortable interacting with people. They're not used to like knowing a lot of people, so they come down, they feel it's all one up. Then they just come out. Imagine it's a mass event. They come down here. They have not a lot of friends. They take a food. They just sit by the side, eat by themselves. What's the difference between them coming down to an event and staying in their room? It's almost the same thing. So really everything, right, it comes down to really sense of belonging. That's why before that I proposed I want to start from things like FOC, things like IHG. When freshies come in as a blank sheet of people, I want to pin them with the culture that we are one house. You belong here. You are part of this. You take pride. So I feel if we manage to do this, impart this culture into the freshies, right, the turnout rate is confirmed to be better. And of course, with the events that I said, like inter-level, inter-house, whatever, within the floor itself, when we promote more interactions, people make more friends, then they know more people. They are comfortable with coming down, meet more people, or they come down with the friends that they already know. So this will promote a better turnout rate also. So that's how I'm going to ensure that the turnout rate will be becoming better.
Okay, next question. Okay, this is Jerrold. They put up his hand before the break as well. Okay, then Vicky afterwards.
Okay, Haoyu, you talked about implementing a feedback system, and members of the house can give feedback. And when necessary, you call them down to ask them about their particular opinions. How effective do you think this will be, given that the members are stripped of their anonymity, and that generally people do not like confrontation? And for Shruti, are you intending to implement a feedback system? And if you are, would it be an anonymous system or not? And if it is anonymous, how do you show that you and your comm have worked on this feedback?
Okay, for me, right, first of all, of course, I will ask for the guy's opinion. I won't lock him down to the meeting and force him to turn up. Like, if they are not comfortable with telling people who they are, by all means, if they can tell me the problem, I'll relate to the relevant parties, then we'll sit down and discuss. Or else, because I feel that it's a combined effort. It's not just about house comm making things better for the house. Every feedback is important, right? System thinking, feedback important, right? You'll make a system better. I'm serious. You'll make a system better. So feedback is very important. And I'm open to everything from everyone. So of course, if they're not comfortable, they can stay anonymous. I will relay a message on their behalf. If they're comfortable, they can come down. We'll discuss together, arrive at something that we are satisfied with. Yeah, so it's really very open. I don't want people to feel that, oh, I'm not a house comm, I don't have power to say anything. Or even I say this, it's not going to be recognized or not going to be addressed. I don't want that. I want to be, no matter what I say, I'll see. If it's beneficial, if it makes sense, I'll make it. I'll make it happen. I'll ask you to come down, discuss over this. It's not going to be like you throw a stone into a sea and it disappeared. It's not going to work that way.
So your question is about whether I want to make it anonymous or anonymous, and then after that, how would I show that the house comm has worked on it? So I would prefer for it to be anonymous. So the reason why being is that people usually are uncomfortable with issues that they face sometimes in the house, and for an easier alternative for them to voice out their opinion is for them to just say but not be known who it is. As for how I would ensure that these problems are rectified or dealt with, I'll have to discuss with the house comm first. My vice head, I will have to discuss with him or her about how we can rectify the situation. I'll segregate it by level. So I will have to disseminate the information to the RAs, and I have to depend on the RAs to help me go message the level chat itself. And the person who is probably having this issue would have to come up to the RAs, because RAs are the first point of contact for them at each floor. So I would have to depend on the RAs to talk to them and ask them about the issue and rectify the problem. Yeah.
But if they come up with the RA, then won't it be like not?
Only the RAs will know lah, I guess. Yeah. Because it's the RA, it has to be quite transparent with them, and they're the main source of feedback transfer from the house comm to the level itself. Yeah, I feel.
Alright, Vicky?
Okay, so you mentioned some reasons why people visit to Phantom, right? So there are other reasons, but what if these people, such as their schedules just really are very busy, like medicine, law, dentistry, pharmacy students, these people, how do you plan to include them in this case? Like they really don't have the time, that's the thing. So what will you do in this case? Okay, that's my first question. Second question is...
Wait, hold on. We do one question first, because I think there's still a lot of questions from the floor, so one question at a time. Alright, either of you want to respond first?
I was thinking of a buddy system. So where you have, in each level itself you have your own buddy. So I would have a friend partnered with me, and even, okay, say supposing I was in medicine, which is not possible. So if I was in medicine and I really couldn't make it for a lot of events, I would at least have that buddy to talk to, and at least know about how the house is who, what kind of personality the other Jerrold is, like what kind of personality he is, that kind of thing. So like even if I can't make it for a certain event, or because I really have really terrible schedule, at least I have somebody in the house that I can depend on. I think that's a really good indicator that, you know, the person is not phantom.
Okay, for me, I know some people that they phantom not because they want to, it's because of a tight schedule, overloading of commitments. So for them, right, okay, I get what they can't attend maybe some of the house events. Okay, but maybe what I can do for them is that I'll try to organize more level events at timing that they can make for it. Because end of the day we all stay here. End of the day we'll come back here and stay and sleep. You know, there's always time that you'll be in RC. It's just a matter of, can I get you down? You know, can I get you to come to this event? Okay, so of course I feel like if the person have the initiative to come down, even like the schedule is tight, right, we will somehow work something out. There confirm be a time slot whereby both parties can make it. So I think for this problem it takes both effort. Really. If there's this kind of problem, right, you can, like the guy can tell me, I will try to customize something for him. He can tell me the schedule. Maybe he will gather a group of friends, from same faculty, maybe law or medicine. They have similar schedule, right? They tell me, okay, this thing I cannot, that thing I cannot. Okay, maybe I will organize something that y'all can make it. Okay, together with other house people. Yeah, can be done. Because end of the day we will come back here. This is our home, so confirm can be done.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, you had a question. Hold on. I interject one more question here. Because I think a lot of your solutions, right? Believe me, I've thought about ones before. What I found is in the second year, right, especially with the two courses you guys are taking, I'm a business student and I don't have a lot of free time already. So my question to you specifically is this: your plans, in theory, are very good. They're very personal. You're going to be able to deal with a lot of things on the ground. You can, especially for like feedback, you can talk to people individually. Enforcing a buddy system, you can kind of get everybody going. But my biggest question is this, especially with the courses, because you're in computational biology, you're in ISC, but I know that both courses are very demanding. In your second year, you're not going to have nearly as much time as you have now. So my question is, in the case where you don't have enough time to run all of these ideas that you have, right? What are the key two things that stay, and what are the things that go out the window first? It's okay, it's meant to be hard.
Okay, for me, right, two things that are going to stay. First thing is the feedback system. That one is damn important. I'm not going to let that get away. Yeah, I'll make sure it's there, it's implemented. The second thing is the house comm structure. Yeah, because I believe house comm bears a lot of responsibility when it comes to event planning and how the house have annual events happening. These two things cannot cock up. Really, yeah, I'll make sure these 2 things is there. So this is the 2 choices for me. The rest, if I'm not there, I'll find someone. Yeah, I'm pretty sure in my house comm I'll recruit people that's willing to contribute also. You know, as in I get most of the time I cannot take everything by my own hands. It's not possible. Yeah, so I have my vice head. For events I have my PD, VPD. You know, yeah, I can trust them with responsibilities. And some more I got a mentoring them. You know, they gotta be overseeing everything. So actually, all the details right doesn't need to go through me. You see, I don't want them to keep on relying on me or like asking me for opinions. I want them to just do their own stuff. You know, I give you this task, you do it for me. You give me what you can do. I want to see how much you can perform. This is sort of like, I want to make them work independently and not just keep on looking at me, looking at my advice, trying to follow a full path. It's not that way. Yeah. So these 2 things is I want to keep. The rest of the things, you know, cause most of the things is events. So I'll leave it to my planning comm to carry out.
For me, the 2 things I will keep is the RAs having a high presence in the levels and the buddy system. The buddy system is very important for me because even if say you cannot make it for event or something like that, then at least you got somebody there in the house to talk to. That's great. For the rest of it, like the point that I mentioned earlier, the returning exchangers that are coming back to Singapore, it won't be an issue because they will have the level events happening, they will have the buddy system happening. So I don't foresee much difficulty if these 2 are implemented because they're on the level, they're on the floor level. So if you work from like the basic unit, you can work up from there itself to the house unit. So if I was really busy as a house head, I can at least depend on the rest of the exco to take on from there.
You read a question?
So as you mentioned before, right, the participation level depends on the event itself, whether it is interesting or not. But so far, for most of the event is chosen by the house committee itself. So there is a possibility that the event is not interesting for the people. So how would you ensure that you have an interesting event for the people? And is it possible to involve the people to choose the kind of events that they want?
Okay, for me, right, this is actually one of the aim that I want to have a feedback platform. Actually, that platform, right, it's not about just giving feedbacks only. You can give me suggestions, what kind of thing you want to have, what kind of events that maybe you experience somewhere else, and you want to bring it to RC4, to Leo. You know, you can have a say, you know. Let's say the events the Housecom organized doesn't interest you. Okay, then you want to have something else. By all means, just saying. You know, then if really feasible, can make it. I'll make it happen. So this is how, I think this answers your question about how to tackle people's interests. It's really depend on y'all. Really. If y'all don't give me feedback, there's nothing I can do. It's like what I say, right? People must be willing to give feedbacks. You know, must care about this thing, then they're willing to tell me how to improve. You see? Then from there, then I can work something out for you. For the similar about this, like you all have the same interest, I'll do something for you. So that's the presence of the thing. So.
Similar to what you said, the feedback system is really important. But for me, what's more important is that I get the feedback before next year happens. So before people start getting turned off by the scale of the event, by what's happening in the house, I need the feedback from the current residents of Leo first. Because if they're gonna get turned off within the first event from next year, they're probably not gonna come for the next, even though they give feedback. That kind of thing. So that's what I would look to do. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Okay, hold on. Alright, okay, I'll go in this order. Clara, Namasvi, then Kevin, and Shriya. Zack, you ready for the next round? Oh, and Mhon also. Okay, Mhon, you go after Shriya. Alright, Clara first.
Alright, actually my question is for Shruti.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I really like your idea of buddy system, but
Can you speak a bit? Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm really like how did I say this?
The buddy system.
I really like your buddy system, but then like the thing is, are you gonna like pair the buddies up by
friends level, or like by the people you choose that are in the same faculty as them? Like, how are you gonna do it, and how are you gonna ensure that it's gonna sustain the buddy system? Because there's a form of responsibility there, right? So the people are like they have this thing imposed on them, like when they enter the house, and then like it's an extra responsibility. Like I have so much schoolwork, like why bother like about the buddy system, like, and then like what if like both people like are not even like available? You get what I mean?
Oh, okay. Did you say friends level of like
No,
floor
how are you
level?
gonna impose the
Oh,
buddy
okay.
system?
The buddy system is gonna be random. Like I feel that random is the best because at least then you get to, if the likelihood of you meeting somebody from a different faculty, different major is better, and you meet someone of a different type of personality. That's good for you as, you know, character development. How would I ensure that the program is running? Is
Like,
it?
how are you gonna make sure that like
It's happening.
that it happens? Like, you know, two random people, like you put them together. Sometimes they don't even talk to each other at the end of the day.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then secondly, like how are you gonna, if they do talk together, how are you gonna make it sustain?
Okay, so to make it to have the buddy system actually happen, it has to start off like as an angel mortal kind of thing. Because once you're given a gift by one other person, you're kind of obligated to give back, that sort of thing. So it's once it starts off like that, right? The friendships it will form. So something like an angel mortal system is the best when it comes to a buddy system. Yeah, that's what I feel would be a good start for buddy system and will ensure it just keeps going on, that kind of thing. I mean, it doesn't have to stay as angel mortal all the way. You can reveal yourself whenever you want, but it's great to have the anonymity first, because then, you know, it gets them excited about like who is it that is buddied with me, who is it in this level that is getting to know me. Like I'm probably walking past them as I go to the toilet, but I don't know it's them. Yeah. It's just a curiosity, I guess. Yeah.
Alright, Namasvi?
Okay, actually I have several questions for both of you. I'm gonna start with Haoyu first.
Okay.
So Haoyu mentioned in your speech that you are very passionate about your sports and your commitments to your basketball, IG, or SCG.
Yeah.
So understandably, obviously, you become a househead, the commitment to the house will increase. So how do you think you'll manage your commitments with your IG and your house? And would you let go of some of the commitments?
Okay, for me now, I'm involved in quite a few sports, I must admit. For me, basketball, actually it won't take up much of my commitment because I've already set most of the frame there. I got a group of experienced excos working with me, so they have the frame ready. You know, because a lot of time, actually in ICG, right, I wasn't in the training. I can't make it, or like, then I got friends helping me to run the training, to make sure everything is running smoothly. So that part, I'm not worrying too much because that's how sports work. But like once you set the frame out, right, people are willing to train hard for it. That's it. Like, you don't have to mend too much to it. Then for other sports, I get what you mean. If need be, I will let go of few sports. Cause to me, if this responsibility is great, it's really great. It's like it's a high workload. So if y'all trust it to me, right, of course I must give it back to y'all. So to me, my priority is very simple. If really I can't cope with multiple things at the same time, I will let go of some of my sports to go for this one. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, I think that's it.
Okay, Kev?
Right. So, okay, my question is right. Okay, during the CSE dialogue, right, the events director, L, his stance on like college events, right, college and house events, right, was that, for example, fledgling week, which is basically like the first 2 weeks of the sem, there will be no house events. So everything will be under the CSE, so under college event. So how do you guys feel about this stance from the CSE, like personally?
Give me a second.
Okay, for me, okay, I feel I get the reason for this because actually I got talked to Jerrold, I got talked to a few other people. This initiative is to raise the IG standing because IG is one of the pillars in our RC life. So it's trying to get RC4's IG recognized. So yeah, I get why he do this. I'm in full support of this because getting IG recognized, right, is a part of building RC4 identity. And from why I say my vision is a house identity, right? Because I feel there's a root. You know, people form house identity first, maybe from somehow we just construct the RC4 identity. So I'm not going to say anything more like complaining this and complaining that, because I feel this is actually heading in the same direction. As a house, as a person in charge of a house, right, I must see a bigger vision. I must be willing to give some sacrifice for the bigger vision of RC4. So I'm willing to give that period to CSE. Then I'll work whatever I have from then onwards to plan the stuff.
My sense on it is that I'll be a bit disappointed, of course, because first week people don't really go to school. They don't really have anything going on in lessons, so they're staying here in RC. And if they don't do anything in the house, they're probably a bit apprehensive to go for even the IG showcase, that kind of thing. So I can't stop the fledgling week from happening. I can't stop it from being a no house event thing, but I can somehow sneak in a house event sort of thing where the Househead, the RAs can all say, hey, do you want to come down and go for this IG event together, that kind of thing. Then we can meet at the lounge first, then we go together, that kind. So you can somehow make it a house event by going for the fledgling week together. So you can't really stop CSE events from happening like that. So yeah, you gotta work your way around it. Yeah, that's what I would do.
It's not like it's a current problem in our house, which is a country problem. So like Jeremy created a Google Doc, it's just background, create a Google Doc to collect info about people who lost all their items. But the problem is that when we get back to for investigations, they don't want investigation to be carried out. So even though on the house chat everyone is like, I want my items to be found, no one wants to go through the trouble of investigation, not the one. Many people do not want to go through the trouble of investigation, so to provide a lot of details and things like that to Prof who provide it to campus security. So in such a situation where there's no evidence and no leads and nothing, how would you deal with this kind of something?
Okay, I feel for this problem, right, first of all, if you launch a complaint, I assume that you want the things to get back, or like you want justice to be brought there. So I expect when I approach you for details to help you investigate your case, you cooperate. You get what I mean? Like, cause it's quite don't make sense if you launch a complaint, I try to help, then I come to you for more information, you say no. Then so what am I going to do? I know. So I'm going to tell the guy, if you launch a complaint, I will help you. But first you must cooperate with me. I need you to give me the information that I need so that I can help you to get our things back. So if they don't want, then I will still monitor the situation in the pantry, because it's an open area, it's very hard to man. So I probably can only ask for the cooperation of the whole house to, when you are there, when you somehow maybe witness something, tell me. I really need the help from everyone, because I can't do this alone. I can't do this with my house comm only. So that's the best I can do for you, if you are not going to cooperate with me to give me all the details and everything.
As for my opinion on this is that it's important for them to know that if they're gonna have to complain, they have to go through the whole process of it. So they need to understand the importance of why the Google Docs is there and why we're doing this sort of complaint form thing. If in the event that they complain and then they say they don't want for action to be carried out, I would need them to give us a concrete reason why they don't want this to happen. It could be because they don't want the person to get in trouble, that kind of thing. Or maybe because they just want their concerns to be heard, but no concrete stuff to happen, that kind of thing. They just want the person who is at fault, who's guilty, to change their ways, that's all. So how to deal with the issue, right, is that it will have to, the problem will persist for sure because action is not being taken. But supposing the person is there in the pantry, as someone sees them do it, house has to take ownership. Like so how would the house know that this sort of event is happening if the Google Docs is an anonymous feedback page, right? Is that I will have to tell the house, these are the things that has happened in the pantry, this is what has been issued. So if you do see these kind of things happening, like I'll collate all of the whole list lah. If you do see these kind of things happening, do feedback to us, because sometimes on some occasions we cannot get the action to be carried out to rectify the situation because the person who lodged the complaint doesn't want it to happen. Yeah. So it's onus on the whole house also lah. Because it's your house, you have to take care of it. And if you see something bad happening, it's also onus on you because you witnessed it happening. Yeah.
So like what I got from your speeches is that you guys want to prioritize level events before house events. But what's my concern is that what if people are more bonded in levels? So even if you have a house event, they're like clustered in the levels, but like that's not what we want. We want like a united view. So like even if you want to find a balance, right? Like how would it be different from the current house comms? Like I think the current house comm was trying to find a balance between like level and house events. So like if you want a balance, how is this it be different? And like but like if you want like prioritize level events, right? Like don't you see that it might be a problem that people are clustered in the levels instead of bonding throughout like inter-level?
For me, right, why I propose this like level first then house, right, is because actually partly it's because I want to target vendors. Because it's really very hard to target them as a whole house. All I can do is just within level itself, I put them out first. I put them out, make them interact more, get comfortable, then introduce them to a bigger pool of people, then they interact. So like I get what you mean when you say people will get more level bonded than house bonded. This is what will happen, right, if you overemphasize on level events. Then for house events, right, you don't put in as much effort to get people down. Because you expect, let's say, I made so much effort in level events, I expect them to come down for house events. But sometimes it's not the case. So I get what you mean. I'll do it concurrently, but first I still must say, right, I will focus on level because that's how you target the victims, the individual people. I'll get them to get comfortable with the level first. Then for house inter-level house, we will drag them down again, And then other than house itself, right, there's a lot of path across outside of house, IGs, communities, lessons, JS, SS, IEM. All these small things, right, can connect people's path. So actually, there's a lot of ways to then come down for house events. So I feel as long as you put in equal effort or more effort in house events, right, you won't have this problem of people becoming level bonded instead of house bonded. Yeah, of course, start with level. Yeah, that's the root of how you bond a house.
I get your concern why you say level events will probably bond them all within the level first. And then they probably won't want to go for house events because they're so tight within the level, right? Okay, to respond to that, level events need not necessarily just be level 12, level 13, level 14. It could be a level 12, 13 event kind of thing. So at least 12 and 13 people get to know each other, or 13 and 14 get to know each other, that kind of thing. 12 and 14 also. That could be one of the solutions to ensure that, the cliques don't form so tightly immediately. Then, as for the buddy system that I was talking about to Clara, I think I'll be open to discussion about it because if it's within the level, it will also probably enforce the cliques forming within the level itself. So if it was a buddy between levels, that would probably be able to solve the situation that you're presenting to me now. Yeah. So I'll be open to discussion to change that up a bit also.
Alright, okay. I think we can do one final round. I know there's a lot of questions. So what we're going to do is this. We'll do one final round of questions. Anything that's not answered here, we'll probably pose the questions to them separately and get them to write written or like a video response. Alright, so last round of questions. Hands up. Okay. Rachel, okay. Eshwar, Rachel, Huikun, Alvin. Is that your question? We'll do by separately because you asked before already. Then Jacob, you wanna Shruti been bugging me. Okay, last one. So, okay, in this order, Eshwar, Rachel, Huikun, Alvin, Jacob, and then if I finish with Shruti. Alright, this is the last round, guys.
Okay, first things first, thank you to both Haoyu and Shruti for running the position of Househead. Okay, I understand that it is not an easy position. Make full use of this campaigning week to gather ideas and feedback on the current things that you want to implement. Okay, and all the best with the elections. Okay, I have a few questions for you guys. Okay, please answer all these questions in one line or less. Okay, if the question has already been asked, my apologies, I was not here for the first part of this dialogue. Okay, so first question, what is the identity in house?
Online.
Online. It's the sense of belonging and pride everyone take to be a part of this house.
How Leo House will identify itself is through its spontaneity. Yeah.
Okay. Second question, what is one success that this house has experienced this past year?
Is also one line? It's all one line. It's all one line.
What I would see as successful is that people from different levels are entering different lounges to hang out.
I see a higher turnout rate in all the events that Leo have organized in this year.
Okay. Next, what is the most pressing issue in the upcoming year?
Is to impart the culture of belonging to this house and taking pride to be a part of it to the new freshies coming in.
There confusion between what is Leo identity and RC4 identity.
Okay. One quantifiable KPI for your house community.
Metric. One metric for your performance. So if you hit it, it means you did well. If you didn't hit it, it means you didn't do well.
What would you consider a success?
What I consider a success is when you enter the pantry and you fill out your water bottle, somebody else is there. You start a conversation instead of just saying hi. That's it.
When people talk about Leo people, there's this special vibe to it. Yeah.
What would you do if the internal vice president or the college students committee does not support either your vision or your initiatives?
I'll consult the other house heads as well to see what their opinions are.
I'll discuss with them because I feel our vision does not interfere with each other.
Okay. And last question, why should Leo not vote for you?
Not vote for me. Because a lot of plans I said is very theoretical, so I have no concrete proof that this will work 100%.
I'm quite a soft person, so if something doesn't go right, I'll probably break down. Yeah.
But thank you for your answers and
Rich?
So my question is directed at Shruti. Just now you were mentioning about like your personality and that you are quite a frank person. So my house here used to be diplomatic, and because I'm representing the house, and you'll be working closely with the comm, so it's no longer just an individual level. So how will you work around this problem and make sure that you really listen to your comm's perspective, not only those that are not in the comm.
So how do I listen to the house perspective?
And how do you think you can work around the problem of your friends?
My frankness, is it? Okay. I will have to, of course, bring it down a notch, the frankness and the timeliness of when I say things. So if say supposing if I feel something is not right, I have to listen to them first. Like I'll ask them to tell me what is their motivation behind what they just said. Instead of I tell them, I don't think it's gonna work. So instead of telling them straight up that it's not gonna work, I will ask them, why are you giving me this idea? Why do you think this will work? So that before I start shooting them down blindly, I at least understand what they are trying to say. That's it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot it was a question just right there. Shruti, go here.
Thank you for your speeches. So from what I understand currently, that there's communication between you and the house members, such as through the feedback system, right? So my question is, how can you ensure that there's also strong communication between you and the committee? Because from what I understand currently is that the communication in the house comm might not be very strong. So for instance, when the events team, right, needs, let's say, logistics, so they give a logistics list. But then the ones who are actually getting the logistics are from the logistics team. So I think it has happened before that the logistics team didn't necessarily get a clear idea of what the events team wanted, and hence led to like the decreased efficiency of the items bought. So how can you work around like say the communication problem, and how can you ensure that there's still strong communication between you and your
I do face this problem in science fact as well, where certain things are just not communicated well. So how I would solve the situation is the same way as how I solve the situation in sports comm at science, is that one person, each representative from each department, sits down during the meeting, listens to what they say. So like someone from Logs comm can come and sit down for like a while during the during the props meeting, know what they're trying to come up with. They don't have to stay with for the entire meeting, right? As long as they get the idea of what's happening, or like when they are going to buy the items, someone from the props comm comes and oversees what's the items that are being taken, that kind of thing, or bought.
Okay, for me, the communication between me and my house comm, first thing is the reason why I want to reduce the house comm size is because of this. I believe a smaller cohort can communicate better. There's better coordination among the house comm. Another thing is, I said before, when I have a feedback, I'll call the guy down if he is reading. Then I'll call the relevant person, then we sit down together. Because I believe face-to-face discussion is always the best way to solve problems. Yeah, so I don't think I will have the problem of me miscommunicating with my house comm member, because everyone will be there. We'll agree on this same thing, then we'll work towards it.
Okay, Alvin?
Okay, so my question is that as undergraduates in NUS, we take part in a lot of like various activities, be it our faculties level, or even in RC4, we take part in the IGs. Then we do have a certain identity towards our faculty and even our IG state. So how do you think that the Leo identity can be further advocated such that when a person is asked, the first thing they identify themselves is with Leo, rather than like compared to their other identities that they associate with, maybe their what they study or their IGs. Because the notion is that everybody we take part in a lot of activities, we do associate ourselves with like numerous identities. So as a Househead, how do you think you can advocate and further strengthen that Leo identity compared to other identities that they have in the NUS?
Okay, what I feel is right, one advantage we have is the fact that they stay here. They spend the most amount of time here. So we have to make use of this advantage. I get they can be very tightly bonded with faculty, with their course. But at the end of the day, right, what actually gives them a sense of home is here. This is what I try to instill. So when they talk about RC4, it's just like talking about their home. They can be very tight with, I'm from computing, I take pride in that. But at the end of the day, where you go back to is your home. Right? So that's the advantage that we have to make use of. And that's how I'm going to build the Leo identity the strongest among them, inside them.
How I advocate the Leo identity is that when they are coming back over to RC, right, they probably can invite their friends over. I can advocate that to them. Bring your friends over, ask them to come and just hang out with you here as well, because this place is quite conducive to study. It's really conducive to study. It's really conducive to hang out because there's aircon, first thing. As for your point about how would I advocate it to be, for them to identify themselves to RC4, to the Leo identity rather than the faculty identity, I cannot do that because their faculty, I cannot touch what they feel about the faculty. I will not stress them and make them feel that you must feel like Leo is your first thing on your mind. It's up to them to choose because in the end of the day, it's how they want to experience their 4 years. Because after they're done with 2 years in RC4, they will probably want to just go all out into their faculty. Yeah. I cannot force them to feel so much pride. Yeah. And like forget about their faculty. Yeah.
Do you have any questions for that?
No, I think the questions that are being asked are really great.
Alright, Jacob. Since Jacob has more of a tip in mind now than a question.
Actually, my question is like identity also, but then Eshwar talk about it and all talk about it. So, like what I feel is that like being in Leo for 2 years and being in Housecomm for 2 years, right? The thing is actually a lot of the identity actually really depends on the househead. And then for last year, it's actually very different from this year. So this, even though I'm in Housecomm for 2 years, but it's actually very different in how Leo works and how our Leo identity has been for these past 2 years. And I'm not sure if we can really build on it, but then what I have in mind is just for in terms of identity, I try not to be so so vague. Try to be more concrete. Try to think as it's not for you to ponder identity because I feel like it's quite important. And as RC4 grows, each house should have a more unique identity. So if possible, try to think of more concrete stuff that you all can come up with for Leo instead of ponder. And these are things that everyone can say. I mean, I don't really expect an answer, but I'm hoping like if either of you get elected, you all can think in this manner. And then what about the Housecomm and RAs, right? Because you all mentioned about RAs. What we actually do is really just to align with the househead goals and help out as much as possible. So in terms of planning and everything, like actually househead still have the final say. As much contribution and suggestion we have, like eventually I would say that the identity follows the househead. So actually househead really plays a very important role. So I really hope you all can think further about this identity. I don't think one sentence can summarize it in any way. Yeah, just reflect about the past year you all have been. Then can talk to Jeremy or any of us more about the previous year for some of the tips for the identity and try to have your own for the next year. Yeah, that's all I have. I don't think I can answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
since Jacob had mostly a tip to give, right? I think, I will translate his into a question then. Since he said give you some time, but I'll put you guys on the spot. Specifically, the question is this, because this question, for sure, we deliberated over this like for a very long time. And I think this is the hardest part about building the house identity. So I want you guys to suggest one event / program / initiative, right? That just one event. One event, program, or initiative that you are intending to do. That and how that event in three lines. Give me how that event will contribute to your house identity.
Can an event be the current event?
It can be continuing something now or working on something now, or it can be something new entirely.
My answer will be inter-house games. Really, inter-house games. Because, what I said before, it's the first big major event that Leo will be playing as a Leo instead of, let's say, FOC is more OG based. So what I'll do is I'll try to get the freshies to come down to support the team. If you are a player, just fight your way through there. If you are not a player, you do a part by supporting your friends, supporting your house. So at the end of the day, what I wish to see is I want to see Leo have the most supporter in IG. That's what I want to see. Yeah. Then that will assure me that I'm heading in the right direction. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the events that I would like to have is Steamboat, but I won't do it as how we had it this sem. How I'll do it is that on the day of Steamboat, each of the levels they go out and get the ingredients together. And so it would enforce the spontaneity that I want to build in this house itself. Because they're going out together, they're deciding what they want to eat. They're deciding who to go with, that kind of thing. And it's all on the spot, that kind of thing. They will just go and get instinctrons right there. So that's cool.
Okay. I think Prof, you got one final question and then we'll call it a day.
Okay. So this question is just for us to find out more about you. What makes you feel really angry or offended?
For me, normally for me, right, if a person like, I feel a bit tutor against that guy, right, I'll tell him why I feel so, then I'll give him room to change. So, if like, although I keep on reminding him or talking to him, right, that doesn't work, right, then I'll be quite angry, Then especially if the guy is house comm, especially because I really expect my house comm to be my win, to help me do stuff, and I expect them to sign up for this thing, they get it done. They should have thought it through before they sign up. Yeah, so this is one thing that will make me angry. Other than that, I'm quite cool. I don't really get angry. So.
I don't really get angry, but I get frustrated more by this one thing, is that because I'm very frank, right, I would tell the person if I'm not okay with this or if I'm okay with this, I'll just say straight up. But the person in return, if they are not okay with it and they just go with the flow, and then suddenly something happens and they just talk back behind my back, I don't really like it, because I asked you at that moment, are you okay with this plan? And you didn't tell me that it was not okay. Yeah. I feel that if action was not taken at that point, I would be really, really frustrated. Because I feel if I'm honest with you, you should be honest with me. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think that more or less wraps it up tonight. Okay. First of all, I'll just give these two a round of applause. I think it's safe to say, at least with the 3 dialogues that happened today, this is probably the longest one. So they stood here, and got grilled for longer than all the other candidates in the other houses. So round of applause to them. And first, I also like to say that it's very heartening to see that there's all of you guys here. There's a good mix. Actually, there's a lot more. Okay, I think one thing. I think compared to maybe even last year's group, there's definitely more. There are more people here. That's one thing. There's definitely more people, especially those who came in and went out, came in and came back. There's a lot of people here. So that's a very good thing. Specifically though, that there's so many of you guys first years here as well, because I think you guys are going to be as much as we seniors can kind of suggest things. Some of us might be around next year, some of us will not be. Ultimately, this decision is yours. What direction this house goes is your decision. So all of that comes on you guys. The fact that you guys are here, paying attention to what the candidates are saying, at least you can make an informed choice, based on what you know and what you've heard today. So I want to thank you guys for being here as well.